Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider of the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside head coach Daron Schoenrock, and coach conference play continues. We'll touch on Houston here in a moment, but first of all, let's go back to last week. Played a very tough Middle Tennessee team that was at that point in the top 50 in the RPI, and you get a home split with them, so pretty decent result.
Yeah, opportunities in the game we lost again. It comes down to some offensive execution. Middle came in on a 5 or 6 game winning streak, and Coach McGuire's done a very good job continuing to have that program, playing well, and it's been a real good series in the history of both schools, and it's a series that I would definitely want to continue, and pretty evenly matched teams, and we were able to gain a split.
A little bit different Middle Tennessee look than we're used to seeing, especially with the new bats. Middle used to be a sit back and blast home runs, big hitting team. They're a pitching, defensive-oriented team like a lot of college teams are now.
Yeah, everybody's kind of moving that direction, and if you can put yourself in a position to keep games close with pitching and defense and try to get a big hit late, you're seeing a lot of, I guess, parity caused by the bats and also caused by the way the recruiting's going now, that on any given day, any team can beat anybody now. It's just a matter of who gives anything away. In the game we lost, we gave a few things away, Middle capitalized, and then the next day, the things were reversed. We took advantage of a few miscues and were able to gain a win. Had
to deal with some rain over the weekend against Houston. You got your Friday night game in, had to boot it on Saturday because of the rain that was there basically all day, and you got the 2 7-inning games in on Sunday. It was a weekend where you knew mentally the team was going to have to be able to get themselves up once it was game time, be able to kind of step back once you had a delay.
Yeah, and Houston was a team that coming in, they're the hottest team in the league, top to bottom, in the body of work of the whole season. They've played very well, and what they do is they don't give anything away. Their pitchers throw strikes, they command the zone, they put balls in play. They coming in, they were somewhat of a difficult team to strike out. Now we were able to mount a lot of strikeouts in game 2 of the series, but very evenly played games, and all 3 games could have gone either way. One of the things I was glad about is in protection of our conference is getting all the conference games in, so we were able to adjust some things and stay on course to get all 24 of our conference games in.
It's interesting. We were getting butted up close to that drop dead time on Sunday, and last year Houston and East Carolina played to that tie because they had that drop dead time in Greenville, but able to get it in under the wire. You got that 2-out RBI from Willis in that 3rd game of the series, able to salvage a game out of that series and not bad against the 19th ranked team.
Yeah, I made a decision to move Willis out of the leadoff spot for that 3rd game of the series to try to. And what I was thinking was to try to get another left-handed bat down in some points where a lot of RBI situations have been coming for us, and it paid off. It paid off with one swing and one moment, and really without a true leadoff bunt, run, hit by pitch, stolen base guy, Gross has been giving us better at bats. Ford's been competing in the box real well for us, so we elected to go with a little different lineup, and it paid off in that one game.
Talking about your pitching this year, one pitcher that's really stood out, and you can talk about it on a personal note, is Eric. I mean, he had a career high 11 strikeouts. He had retired 15 in a row at one time. All of a sudden, he's a draft prospect. Is that kind of neat for you to see, not only as a coach but as his father?
Yeah, and what I'm proud of is he's handling everything very well. He's staying very even keeled. He's not trying to overthrow to impress scouts or throw high velocity gun numbers, which these kids can kind of get wrapped up in gun readings. He's been pretty mature about it, and he's with the work with Coach Corral's done with him, he's got 3 pitches going in the zone now, which from a left-handed guy that can be hard to handle, and you're starting to see the fruits of his hard work and his labor, and he's kind of came in this year under the radar, but we knew he had potential all along, and he's added a lot to our rotation.
Tell you, the pitching staff, a big credit to you and Coach Corral, really, since you brought him in, I guess, 4 years ago, because I never thought with our small ballpark and with the old bats, you are never going to have a low ERA. Just the nature of FedEx Park. With the new bats, it's even everything else. It plays pretty true with these new bats, but never thought in the 10 years I was here I'd ever see a Tiger team 28 games in the season have a pretty good lead in ERA in Conference USA. You've got the best statistical pitching staff in the league.
Yeah, and what they're doing, Jeff, is they're throwing a lot of strikes, and they're able to throw off-speed pitches for strikes. And a lot of times, you've had staffs in the past that maybe the fastball is a higher percentage pitch, and so in certain counts you have to go to it to avoid walks. We're able to kind of mix pitches a little bit more with these guys, and it's just a tribute to the hard work to get to become 3-pitch guys. And you know, once in a while you'll have a 2-pitch guy that'll find success in the bullpen, but to start effectively and pitch deep in the games in Conference USA, the ability to throw 3 pitches for a strike is a key, because it gives you an opportunity to flip that lineup over, you know, that 3rd time and sometimes that 4th time.
Offensively this year, your team holding its own with a very young lineup. I guess the thing you would want is probably some more consistency. You look at your total numbers, and a bulk of those runs came in the 2 games. You got 18 and 16 runs, but we've seen instances where they can be very good, then some instances where they're kind of vulnerable.
Yeah, you know, what they get to do at this point of the year is start tabulating a lot of information and understand how pitching staffs are attacking him. What part of the zones do they handle, what do they not? And this is where you want to see growth at this part of the season, that if a guy's consistently been getting, you know, me out away, then I've got to find a way to cover the outer half of the plate, or vice versa. If I become too aggressive and they're starting to, you know, spin off speed stuff early in the count, become more patient. So now it gets to the point where individually the guys got to start making adjustments, and Coach Green's worked real hard on just knowledge of who they are as an offensive player. Do some guys need to stay with the bunt longer during the at-bat? Do some guys need to become more ground ball conscious? So we're getting more individual now that we've got enough at-bats with these guys to try to see the body of work that they have so far.
Got UCF rolling into town this week. They had a great season last year. You kind of got them on a skid there last year. You won 2 out of 3 down there. They ended up making the regional as an at-large this year. Another solid club, 18-11, 4-2 in the league. They've won 4 out of their 7 road games.
They're very athletic. Always, you know, Coach Green's done a great job elevating the athleticism. They've got a very solid Friday night guy returning that'll match up with Sam, and it'll be a great, you know, I anticipate a very close game again Friday night. Hopefully we can capitalize on them being on the road. And they lost a significant number of at-bats and innings pitched to the draft last year, and you know, what you hope you catch them at a time where there's some uncertainties about being on the road, and our team has to continue to try to take advantage of this home series, and hopefully the young guys that are playing for us will understand they're doing a good job of not getting too high or too low based on whether it's a midweek game or a weekend game, and it's just it continues to have to be a maturing and a growth process for these hitters. And
finally, Coach, for the returners on this ball club, they got to remember they made their run after 40 games last year, sitting at 17 and 23, then made that big run to the championship game. You're sitting in a lot better position. You're halfway through. You're sitting at 15 and 13, so you're over 500 going to the back end of the season. Yeah, now it comes to time where, like I said, using information that they've gained, and now trying to not let scouting reports cause a decline in offensive production, but let it cause an incline because of understanding. And last year's team had those 4 veteran hitters plugged in there in the key parts of the lineup that probably grasped that a little bit. You know, you saw the second half surge of Jacob Wilson, the second half surge of Eli, and what Adam McClain did the whole year. Now it's a matter of some young guys stepping up and giving us those experienced at-bats that we need down the stretch. All right, Coach, we'll see you at the ballpark this weekend. Thanks, Jeff. That is head coach Daron Schoenrock. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.